From the outside, the world sees 50 Cent and Eminem as hip-hop legends. Icons who conquered the industry with raw talent and fearless attitude. But behind the scenes, there's a bond deeper than music, deeper than money, and according to 50 Cent himself, it might be stronger than blood. Recently, 50 dropped a bombshell, revealing that Eminem feels like family. But trust me, this wasn't just a sweet sentimental moment. This statement set off a storm of rumors, jealousy, hidden tension, and drama that nobody saw coming. Because when 50 Cent called Eminem family, some people in his real family felt replaced. Some industry figures felt disrespected. And others? They started digging into their past, exposing secrets, resurfacing old arguments, and questioning whether their brotherhood was built on loyalty or power. Fans are shocked, insiders are whispering, and even those closest to them are saying this might be the beginning of a major shift in hip-hop alliances. Was this love or a warning shot? Did 50 just expose something Eminem never wanted public? And why are people claiming this family bond came with sacrifices, betrayals, and unspoken debts? Stay tuned, because this story goes way deeper than friendship. This is about loyalty, legacy, and the price of calling someone family. It all started with one interview. An interview that was supposed to be lighthearted, nostalgic, and fun. 50 Cent sitting down to talk about his legacy, his TV empire, and the early days of G-Unit. But as always with 50 Cent, things took a turn. The host casually asked him which artist impacted his life the most. Everyone expected a typical industry answer. Maybe Dr. Dre, maybe someone from Queens, maybe even himself. But 50 didn't hesitate. He looked straight at the camera and said something no one expected. Eminem? He ain't just a collaborator. He's family. Matter of fact, Eminem feels like family to me. Closer than some of my real relatives. The room went silent. The host raised an eyebrow. Even the crew behind the camera paused. And that one sentence exploded across the internet in minutes. Clips of it went viral on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Everywhere. Some fans were emotional, calling it the most genuine thing 50 ever said. Others were confused. A few were suspicious. Why would he say something that deep now? Because 50 Cent isn't known for being soft. He isn't known for sentimental speeches. If he spoke from the heart, there had to be a deeper reason. And that's when the drama started. Within hours, bloggers and insiders began asking questions. Was this just brotherly love? Or was something going on behind the scenes? Because if you know 50 Cent, you know he doesn't say anything without intention. He's strategic, calculated. Every word is a chess move. So why drop this bomb right now? Some believed he was paying respect. Others believed he was warning people. But some, they believed this statement was connected to something big. Something happening behind closed doors. People started digging into their history, rewinding time all the way back to 2002. The moment Eminem signed 50 Cent and changed his entire life. At the time, 50 was blacklisted from the industry, shot 9 times, and considered too dangerous to sign. But Eminem didn't care. He saw the talent. He saw the hunger. He went to Dr. Dre and said, "We need him." And from there, G-Unit exploded. 50 Cent dropped Get Rich or Die Tryin', one of the most legendary debuts in hip-hop history. Overnight, he became the hottest rapper in the world. Money, fame, power, all because Eminem took a risk when nobody else would. To fans, it was loyalty. To insiders, it was deeper than business. This was brotherhood. But here's where things get complicated. The music industry is full of deals, favors, and unspoken agreements. Over the years, rumors started swirling that 50 Cent and Eminem had an understanding. An agreement that went beyond contracts. Something personal. Something emotional. Something only they knew about. And that's why this interview hit so hard. Because when 50 said Eminem was family, it wasn't just a compliment, it was a confession. A truth he'd held in for years. And whenever something that raw leaks out, you know the past is about to come knocking. Almost immediately, 50's own family members reacted online. Distant relatives, cousins, even someone claiming to be a childhood friend posted on Facebook. Funny how success makes you forget who your real family is. Shade, jealousy, resentment. It started bubbling. But it didn't stop there. Certain industry figures who used to be close to 50 also chimed in. People who felt like 50 abandoned them when he made it big. They commented under blog posts. Family? Really? Where was this energy for the people who were with you before you had $1? Suddenly, the narrative shifted. Was 50 Cent saying Eminem replaced his own blood? Was he quietly admitting no one in his real life had his back the way Em did? Or worse, was he exposing long-buried wounds within his real family that he'd kept hidden for years? Fans started debating like crazy. One tweet blew up with thousands of likes. If 50 is calling Eminem family, that means they must have done some real loyalty stuff behind the scenes. Something we don't even know about. Someone replied, what if Eminem saved 50 again? Not physically, but career-wise? Emotionally? Legally? And then somebody else wrote, y'all don't get it. 50 doesn't open up unless he's sending a message. A message to who? That's when the plot thickened. Because right after the interview aired, insiders revealed that 50 Cent and Eminem had recently been in long private conversations about something major. Something personal. Something emotional. Something that made 50 realize just how deep their bond truly went. And apparently, not everybody was happy about it. Sources close to Eminem claimed one of his family members had questions about 50. Why is he always around? Why does he get so much access? Why is he the only one Marshall trusts? Meanwhile, people in 50's circle started asking similar questions about Eminem. Why him? Why not us? It was like both sides of their lives felt overshadowed by this unbreakable bond. And here's where the first twist dropped. A former G-Unit affiliate, someone who used to be very close to 50, went live on Instagram and said, 50 always said he owed Eminem his life. You don't understand the half of it. Eminem did more than just sign him. He protected him, in ways none of y'all know about. Protected him? From what? Fans were confused. What danger could be so serious that 50 would feel forever indebted to Eminem? That's when another rumor hit the internet like wildfire. According to people who claim to be insiders, there was a moment, years ago, where 50 was in serious trouble. Not street beef. Not industry politics. Something bigger. Something career-ending. And apparently, Eminem stepped in and handled it. Quietly. Powerfully. Completely behind the scenes. And 50 never forgot. Whether true or not, the rumor fit perfectly with everything we've seen from them over the years. The loyalty. The silence. The rare but powerful moments they appear together on stage like a united front. But where there's loyalty, there's also sacrifice. People started asking, what did 50 give up to protect Eminem? Or what did Eminem do that nobody else was willing to do? And more importantly, why are people trying to dig it up now? Everyone thought things might cool down, but then another bomb dropped. An old video resurfaced. A clip from years ago where 50 was asked, if you and Eminem ever had a falling out, what would happen? And without hesitation, 50 said, we can't fall out. There's too much between us. Too much loyalty. Too much history. Too much history. That one line had the entire internet spiraling. What history was he talking about? Not just music. Not just success. Something deeper. And fans started connecting the dots. Whenever Eminem went quiet, 50 defended him. Whenever 50 went to war, Eminem backed him. Whenever labels tried to push agendas, they stood together. Their careers were intertwined by something invisible but powerful. And that's when people started saying it out loud. 50 and Eminem must have shared something traumatic. Something life-changing. Something that made them family forever. And suddenly, the entire hip-hop world was buzzing with questions. Did 50 just hint at a hidden past? Did Eminem save 50 from something we never knew about? Or did 50 save Eminem? And why, after all these years, did 50 feel the need to finally say it publicly? But little did anyone know. This was only the beginning. Because the moment he said family, people from their past started coming forward. People with stories. People with receipts. People ready to expose what really happened. And the first person to speak would shake everything. The first person who came forward wasn't a fan, wasn't a blogger, wasn't a random clout chaser. It was someone who used to be right beside 50 Cent during his come-up. Someone who knew both 50 and Eminem personally. A former G-Unit affiliate who had seen things the public never knew about. He didn't go to TMZ. He didn't go to Vlad TV. He went live on Instagram, raw and unfiltered. "I kept this quiet for years," he started, staring hard into the camera. "But since 50 wanna talk about family, let's tell the truth. Eminem didn't just sign 50. He saved him." The live instantly blew up. Thousands of people flooded in. Comments flying. "What you mean saved him? Stop lying. We need the full story." He leaned in, took a breath and continued. "Back in the day, before Indie Club even dropped, there were people trying to stop 50 from blowing up. Industry dudes. Executives. Rappers. Some powerful names. They thought 50 was a problem. They didn't want him in the game." People in the chat were confused. Most fans only knew about the rap beefs. They had no idea it went deeper. "This wasn't beef," he said. "This was business. And 50 was messing with some people's money." He explained that when 50 started gaining buzz, certain labels felt threatened. He was too raw, too aggressive, too unpredictable. He was exposing street politics, calling out fake gangsters, and breaking the industry rules before he was even famous. "There was a meeting," the former affiliate claimed. "A secret meeting. They decided 50 Cent couldn't be allowed to rise. They were gonna blackball him permanently. No radio. No features. No tours. Nothing. And just when it looked like 50 would be erased from the industry forever, guess who stepped in? Marshall Mathers. Eminem told them no. He didn't care about the politics. He didn't care about the threats. He said, "If I'm signing 50, then you either let him in or I walk." The chat went crazy. People didn't know whether to believe it or not. But the more he spoke, the more it made sense. Eminem at that time was one of the biggest artists on the planet. He had enough power to make demands. And if he threatened to walk away from the label, they would listen. And apparently they did. But that wasn't the end of the story. The former affiliate leaned back and lowered his voice. "Y'all don't even know the half." Because it didn't stop there. When 50 dropped his first album and blew up, those same people tried again. They tried to come for him. And you know who stepped in again? Eminem. Every single time. This wasn't loyalty. This wasn't friendship. This was war. And Eminem fought for 50 behind closed doors, over and over, while the world thought everything was just business. "That's why 50 says Eminem is family," the man said. "Because when nobody had his back, Em did. And when you go through something like that, you don't forget." The live ended with one final sentence that sent chills through everyone watching. "You think that bond is just about music? Nah. They went through hell together." And just like that, the internet exploded again. Blogs started writing headlines. Eminem saved 50 Cent's career? Podcasts started debating. What secret industry beef was hidden? Fans started posting theories, timelines, even digging up old interviews for clues. But while fans were shocked, some people were angry. Because if this was true, it meant powerful industry figures had tried to stop 50. And now, those same people were still in the game. Still successful. Still respected. And 50 had just accidentally exposed them. Which meant they were watching. And they weren't happy. Within 48 hours, another voice came forward. But this time, it wasn't from 50's side. It was someone claiming to have been close to Eminem's team. A security guard from the early 2000s. He didn't go live. He wrote a long post on Reddit. But once someone screenshotted it, it went viral instantly. He said there was a night, before 50 blew up, when something happened that never made the news. Something dangerous. Something that involved real threats. According to him, there was a situation where 50 was set up. Not by the streets, by the industry. And when Eminem found out, he went straight to the top managers, label heads, executives, and made one thing very clear. "If anything happens to him, I'm done with all of you." It wasn't just loyalty. It was protection. Eminem put his own career on the line for 50. And that was the turning point. From then on, they weren't just collaborators. They were family. But here's where it gets even deeper. Because if Eminem protected 50 in the industry, rumor has it 50 protected Eminem in the streets. And that's something nobody talks about. Not even Eminem. Especially not Eminem. But one night, someone did. A Detroit insider, someone who grew up around Eminem, tweeted something crazy. He said, "Y'all think 50 needed Eminem. But at one point, Eminem needed 50 even more." Fans were confused. What was he talking about? Eminem wasn't involved in street beef like 50. So what could 50 possibly protect him from? The insider tweeted again. Fame doesn't erase where you came from. Em had problems back home. Serious ones. 50 stepped in when nobody else would. And that's when fans started digging into Eminem's past. His old beefs. His family issues. His traumatic relationships. His legal battles. His stalkers. His near-death experiences. All the chaos he faced behind the scenes while the world only saw the superstar. Suddenly, people started asking, was there something darker? Was there a threat nobody ever knew about? Was 50 the reason Eminem survived it? And then someone said it out loud. Maybe the reason Eminem barely leaves his house is because of what happened back then. The internet went silent because that theory felt too real. And a few days later, a source close to Shady Records dropped another hint. 50 protected Marshall when it mattered. And Marshall never forgot. They saved each other in different ways. Saved each other. At this point, the fans didn't know what to believe. But one thing was clear. Their bond was deeper than anyone ever realized. And that's when it happened. The media tried to twist everything. Headlines started popping up. Is 50 Cent obsessed with Eminem? Does 50 Cent use Eminem for relevance? Toxic loyalty. Why 50 Cent won't let go of Eminem? They tried to flip the story. Make it negative. Divide them. And 50? He noticed. He posted a photo of him and Eminem performing together. And wrote one word in the caption. Loyalty. No explanation. No context. Just that. And fans loved it. But someone else hated it. Because while fans were celebrating their brotherhood, someone from their past was plotting something. Someone who used to be close. Someone who felt abandoned. Someone who had information. And this person was ready to talk. Except this time, they weren't going live. They were going public. With receipts. And their goal? To expose the truth about the family bond between 50 Cent and Eminem. Even if it destroyed both of them. The person who stepped forward next wasn't just some random from the past. This wasn't a clout-chasing TikTok kid or a fake ex-employee trying to get views. No, this person had real history with both 50 Cent and Eminem. And they were mad. At first, nobody knew who it was. The internet only knew one thing. Someone was about to drop documents. Not rumors. Not guesses. Receipts. Screenshots. Contracts. Emails. Old recordings. They announced it on Twitter first. I've stayed silent for years, but since 50 and M wanna act like their bond is pure loyalty, let's show the world what really happened. Instant chaos. Within minutes, every blog, every fan page, every rap news channel was posting the tweet. People were speculating like crazy. Who is this? G-Unit member? Former Shady Records employee? Somebody from Aftermath? The mystery built momentum, until finally, 24 hours later, the reveal came. It was Anthony Ash Martin, a former manager-level associate who had worked with G-Unit and Shady during the peak years. Someone who was in the rooms where the big decisions were made. Someone who knew deals, meetings, and secrets the public had no idea about. This wasn't small. Ash posted a video, and his first words sent chills through the internet. 50 Cent is lying. Eminem wasn't just family. Their relationship was built on a deal. And that deal had consequences. The internet froze. Fans panicked. Haters celebrated. Industry insiders stayed quiet. He continued. You think 50 got signed because of talent? No. He got signed because he agreed to something. There was an exchange. And Eminem wasn't the only one involved. There were conditions. There were sacrifices. What? Fans were losing their minds in the comments. What kind of deal? was he talking about? Was this about the label? About Dr. Dre? Abu? Jimmy Iovine? About the industry trying to control 50? Ash leaned in closer. Let me take y'all back to 2002. And then, he started telling a story that felt too real to be made up. He claimed there was a closed-door meeting between Eminem, Dr. Dre, Jimmy Iovine, and 50 Cent. They laid out expectations for 50. They told him he would be the next major star, but in return he had to follow certain rules. He had to cut ties with certain people, distance himself from certain past affiliations, say certain things publicly, stay silent about other things. In other words, play the industry game. And 50 agreed. At first, fans were like, well, yeah, that's normal. Every artist has guidelines. Every major label signs with conditions. But then Ash said something that changed everything. This wasn't normal label rules. This was silence. They made 50 bury information that could have destroyed careers. They made him protect people. They made him look the other way. The chat exploded. What was he protecting? Who? What information? Ash paused for a long time. The tension was insane. Then he said it quietly. Eminem. Boom. He claimed the reason 50 was chosen wasn't just because of talent, but because Eminem trusted him. Because Eminem had secrets, dangerous ones. Secrets from before he was famous. Mistakes. Enemies. Dark moments. Vulnerabilities. And he needed someone who could keep that under control. Someone tough. Someone strategic. Someone who knew how to handle pressure and apply it when needed. 50 wasn't just signed, Ash said. He was recruited. Fans went crazy. Some believed it instantly. Others said Ash was just jealous. But then he dropped audio clips. Real audio. In the first clip, you could hear a conversation between two executives discussing 50's rise. One voice said, as long as 50 stays in line and protects Marshall, we're good. Protect Marshall. Protect. Not support. Not collab with. Protect. The second clip was even worse. A voice, allegedly a major industry figure, said, 50 knows what we cleaned up for M. He knows the stakes. He won't talk. He's too smart. Cleaned up what? The internet lost its mind. What was cleaned up? What was hidden? What could be so big that they needed a street-smart, fearless guy like 50 to keep it buried? And then the biggest question of all, was 50 telling the truth when he said Eminem feels like family? Or was he protecting him? Was it love or leverage? Meanwhile, celebrities started reacting. Ja Rule jumped in first, of course. He posted laughing emojis and wrote, been telling y'all for years. 50 has always been someone's puppet. Instant KO. People started tagging 50. You gonna let him talk like that? Respond. The timeline turned into a civil war. 50 fans versus Ja fans versus Eminem fans versus conspiracy theorists. Then, Benzino popped up. Oh no. Anytime Benzino enters the conversation, it's about to get messy. He went on a whole rant. I been knew this. Ain't clean. 50 just his bodyguard in a suit. Shady Records is the biggest cover-up in hip-hop history. Now things were getting out of control. Bloggers, YouTubers, and TikTok creators were making hour-long breakdown videos. The secret contract theory. Did Eminem use 50 as protection? The hidden truth behind their family bond. But while the internet was screaming, two people stayed silent. 50 Cent Eminem. No posts. No tweets. No interviews. Silence. And that silence made it worse. Because when 50 stays silent, he's planning. But when Eminem stays silent, he's hurt. Finally, fans started noticing something strange. 50 Cent had been posting about Eminem a lot lately. Throwback moments. Tour highlights. Birthday wishes. Public praise. Was he trying to remind the world of their bond before something big came out? Was he protecting Eminem from a public backlash before it even happened? Or was 50 preparing to speak on something huge? And this family statement was just the beginning? Meanwhile, rumors started circulating that 50 and Eminem had a private meeting the night after Ash's video dropped. No cameras. No entourage. Just the two of them in a quiet location. Some said they were preparing a legal response. Some said they were preparing a documentary. Some said they were preparing for war. But one insider said something different. Something scary. They weren't planning what to say, they were deciding who to take down. What does that even mean? Was there someone behind all this chaos? Someone from the past trying to expose them? Someone powerful? Suddenly, fans realized something. Ash's video wasn't random. Ja Rule's comments weren't random. Benzino's rant wasn't random. It felt organized, calculated, like someone was pulling strings behind the scenes. Someone who hated 50. Someone who hated Eminem. Someone who had been waiting years for the perfect moment to strike. And the scariest part? They weren't done. Because 24 hours later, a new leak dropped. Not audio. Not rumors. Documents. Real documents. Old legal files. Sealed case numbers. And one name showed up over and over again. Marshall Mathers. This was no longer just drama. This was about to become a war. And 50 Cent? He was ready to fight. The leaked documents were everywhere. Screenshots circulating. PDFs being shared. Fans analyzing every page like detectives. Twitter threads going viral. YouTubers making emergency live streams at 3 a.m. This wasn't fan theory anymore. This was real. Court case numbers. Confidential settlements. Redacted names. But one name wasn't blacked out. Marshall Bruce Mathers III. Eminem. Instantly, everyone wanted answers. What was Eminem involved in? What were these sealed cases? And more importantly, why did 50 Cent's name appear in some of them too? Something clicked in the minds of fans. This wasn't just about a friendship. This wasn't just about music. 50 and Eminem weren't just collaborators. They were co-conspirators in something deeper, something hidden. But before anyone could even process it, 50 Cent broke his silence. He posted on Instagram. A black background. White text. Y'all better stop playing with me before I start talking for real. And no emojis. And no hashtags. And no jokes. This wasn't the usual trolling 50. This was serious. The internet froze. People knew what that meant. If 50 Cent starts talking, people's careers get destroyed. Labels panic. Lawsuits come out. Secrets get exposed. But he wasn't done. He posted again, this time, an old photo of him and Eminem on stage, with the caption, "You think y'all know the story, you don't." Boom. That one line set off pure madness. Because if 50 was willing to speak, that meant two things. The rumors were hitting too close to home. He was ready to burn everything down before letting anyone slander Eminem. But here's the twist nobody expected. Eminem finally spoke too. Not with a post. Not with a tweet. He showed up, unannounced, live on stage. During one of 50 Cent's concerts on the Final Lap tour, the lights went out. The crowd went silent. And then, guess who's back again? The crowd lost their minds. Eminem walked out like a warrior. No smile. No hype. Just pure intensity. 50 looked at him. Eminem nodded. In that moment, the entire arena felt it. They weren't just performing. They were making a statement. After the performance, the music cut. 50 handed Eminem the mic. The crowd went silent. Eminem looked out at thousands of fans and spoke. "I don't talk much. Y'all know that. But people been saying a lot of things. And I just want to say this." He paused. The tension was insane. "I don't care what anybody says. Without 50 Cent, I might not be alive. That's not a metaphor. That's real." The arena erupted. People screamed. Some cried. The internet broke in real time as fan videos went viral instantly. Eminem never says things like this publicly. Never. Which meant, whatever happened in the past was real. And then he kept going. "When everybody turned their back on me, 50 stood in front of me. He looked at 50. He didn't just protect me. He fought for me." 50 put his arm around M. The crowd went nuts. But M wasn't done. "And if anybody thinks they can come between us, good luck." Translation? Try US. And see what happens. It was a warning. Not just to the haters. Not just to the blogs. To the industry. The powers that be. The people trying to expose them. 50 grabbed the mic. Now it was his turn. You wanna know why I said M feels like family? He shouted. Because family ain't always blood. Family is who stands with you when the world wanna bury you. The arena was shaking. 50 pointed straight at the camera, at all of us watching online. You can leak whatever you want. You can lie. You can twist stories. But one thing you can't change, me and Em? We built this. We earned this. And we ain't done. Boom. Fireworks. Music. The crowd went insane. It felt like the perfect ending. But this story wasn't over yet. Because the next day, Ash, the man who leaked everything, posted a video. And this time, he was crying. Not angry. Not cocky. Not exposing. He looked broken. I didn't know, he said quietly. I didn't know the full story. The internet was confused. He continued. I thought 50 was manipulating M, but I was wrong. I thought there was a dirty deal. But there was a promise. A promise? He took a deep breath. There was a night years ago. Eminem was in a very dark place. Real fans know. He was close to losing everything. It wasn't just drugs. It wasn't just depression. It was worse. He swallowed hard. And 50 didn't just protect him. He saved him. And he made a promise to never let him face anything alone again. Not fame. Not the media. Not the industry. Not his demons. The internet went silent. Now it made sense. This wasn't business. It was brotherhood born from pain. But Ash wasn't done. He looked into the camera, eyes red. And M made a promise too. Fans leaned in. A promise to never abandon 50, no matter how big he got. Through beefs, through bans, through betrayal. M stood by him. Even when everyone told him to cut 50 off. Suddenly, everything clicked. Their loyalty wasn't a contract. It was mutual salvation. They saved each other. Not once. Not twice. Multiple times. And that is why their bond was unbreakable. Ash wiped his face. I tried to expose them, but I ended up exposing myself. I was jealous. I wanted credit. But now I see that bond. It's real. And you don't destroy something like that. He ended the video with a final message. 50 didn't say Eminem feels like family to get clout. He said it because Eminem is his family. Boom. The internet shifted. Haters got quiet. Blogs changed tone. Even Ja Rule deleted his post. Benzino disappeared. The media backed off. Because now the truth was out. They weren't hiding a scandal. They were hiding pain. They weren't covering up corruption. They were covering each other's scars. This wasn't about secrets. This was about survival. Fans were shocked. Emotions ran high. The industry was left speechless. And just when people thought it was over, 50 posted one last time. A photo of him and M sitting backstage, laughing like brothers. Caption: Real family don't need to explain. End of main story. At the end of the day, this story isn't just about music. It's about loyalty, sacrifice, ego, and survival in one of the most cutthroat industries in the world. 50 Cent and Eminem didn't just collaborate, they saved each other. From the moment Eminem fought the entire industry to sign 50, to the years when 50 defended Eminem against every critic, to the darkest moments when 50 stood by M during addiction and loss. This bond was built in fire. That's why when 50 Cent said, Eminem feels like family, it wasn't a casual statement. It was a warning to the world that their connection cannot be broken. But even now, fans are asking, why say it now? Is it a hint at a major announcement, like a G-Unit and Shady reunion, a final joint album, or even a documentary exposing everything we never saw? Or could it mean something deeper, like closure? Is there still tension behind the scenes? Were there sacrifices we don't know about? Was their loyalty tested more than they've ever admitted? Because in hip-hop, family can be the strongest word, or the most dangerous one. And that leaves us with one massive question. Is this the beginning of a legendary new chapter? Or the calm before another storm? Now it's your turn. I want to hear from you, the real fans. Do you think 50 and Eminem's bond is unbreakable? Or is there still hidden drama we haven't seen? Should they drop one last project together? And who do you think was more loyal, 50 to M or M to 50? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. If this story had you hooked, smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe for more insane hip-hop stories. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss the next jaw-dropping episode. This is Rap News Unfiltered, where the truth always hits harder. See you in the next one.